Hello, dear learners. Welcome to Exploring an Understanding of how research supports yoga for mental health. Let's set forth on a journey of exploration, gently weaving the threads of research into the fabric of our own knowledge and skills. So, whether you're a therapist, a teacher, or simply a seeker of knowledge, I invite you to embrace these moments with a sense of gentle curiosity and openness. I'm your host, Judy Thompson, and in today's segment, we will be exploring the publication, Trauma-Informed Weightlifting, Considerations for Coaches, Trainers, and Gym Environments, published July 2023 in the journal Frontiers in Psychology. Authored by Dana Vigay, Mariah Rooney, Eva Nowakowski-Sims, and Savannah Woods. The research paper we're discussing today demonstrates that weightlifting is an effective adjunct for individuals dealing with psychological trauma and related disorders. In our talk, we'll examine this paper, detailing how weightlifting helps reduce PTSD symptoms, increase self-confidence, and foster social connections, all of which are essential for recovery. We'll focus on the key findings from this research, including the success stories and recommendations that have inspired the creation of weightlifting programs for trauma survivors. In the field of mental health interventions, the link between physical fitness and mental strength is drawing more attention. Weightlifting, commonly connected to building muscle strength and sports performance, is now recognized as an important resource in helping to treat psychological trauma and its effects. This connection is supported by a growing foundation of research. New studies reveal various benefits that weightlifting can provide for those struggling with trauma's impacts. Research has shown clear improvements in the symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. PTSD can be a debilitating outcome of traumatic events, but those who participate in weightlifting report a sense of regained control over their body and choices. Weightlifting has impacts beyond treating PTSD. It can also reduce substance use, which frequently accompanies trauma. Adopting weightlifting instead of harmful coping strategies can strengthen both the body and mind. Regular weightlifting increases self-efficacy. Discovering the ability to improve physically reinforces the idea that individuals can control their life outcomes. This boost in self-belief is vital because trauma typically damages confidence and creates self-doubt. Moreover, weightlifting encourages social connections, essential for recovery. In gyms or training groups, individuals build supportive relationships and recover a strong self-identity, often diminished by trauma. Neuroscience research has shown that exercise, including weightlifting, can lead to the release of neurotrophins, compounds that support the growth and survival of neurons and foster neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new connections. These discoveries show that weightlifting could both alleviate symptoms and heal the underlying neurobiological impact from trauma. This research helps weightlifting to be redefined by these facts, seen not just as a way to physical fitness, but also as a critical tool of psychological rehabilitation for trauma survivors. As we explore the restorative effects of weightlifting further, it's important to acknowledge the multidimensional influence it can have on those who have experienced psychological trauma. The research underscores not just the importance of physical interventions in mental health care, but perhaps more significantly, marks a shift towards holistic healing approaches that encompass the interconnection between mind, body, and soul. Weightlifting is progressively recognized for its mental health benefits, particularly for trauma-impacted individuals. Its key advantage lies in its wide accessibility. It offers a viable option for those hindered by major obstacles in obtaining standard therapy. Recent surveys reveal that over 40% of U.S. adults who needed mental health care within the past year did not receive it. Of these individuals, many cited the prohibitive cost of care, an inability to find a provider nearby, or a lack of appointment type to accommodate their needs as primary obstacles in seeking help. What this survey reveals is that under all of these scenarios, lack of access to care prevents care. According to a large study analysis, nearly 1 in 4 individuals are familiar with or are already actively participating in weightlifting. This familiarity helps to leverage weightlifting as a means to bridge the accessibility gap for mental health resources. Additionally, gyms offer various membership options that can be tailored on services, some costing less than a single therapy copay session. Weightlifting also offers options for different ages and can be an option for teens involved in sports, wherein weightlifting can be engaged as part of their conditioning practice. Weightlifting can play a critical role in expanding the reach of resources available as part of trauma healing, especially for individuals who seek non-traditional mental health support. Because of its adaptability, weightlifting fits into different disciplines like Olympic weightlifting, powerlifting, circuit training, and recreational lifting. Its flexibility allows it to serve diverse interests and a variety of skill levels. Still, inequalities must be acknowledged. LGBTQ+ individuals and racial minorities often face more obstacles to physical activity and mental health support. For weightlifting to reach its potential as a broad-based integrative approach for trauma, it must address the unique challenges these groups face, which includes offering unbiased environments that are welcoming and implore a sense of diversity in clientele, customers, equipment, and staff. Trauma deeply affects a person's mental and physical state, shaping how they interact with their environment. Recent developments in mental health care have highlighted a key understanding. Trauma is stored and manifested in the body. This knowledge is crucial for survivors, and it sparks a path to the development of healing practices like trauma-informed weightlifting programs. Picture a gym where the noise of weights and upbeat music are balanced by a shared awareness of everyone's individual paths. Trainers and coaches work the floor, focusing not just on physical aims, but also on the emotional and psychological well-being of each person. It's in this setting that trauma-informed weightlifting truly operates, and it's also true that this imagery does indeed already exist in select gym and fitness environments. A trauma-informed weightlifting program should be built upon the foundations of empathy, awareness, and adaptability. It begins with the acknowledgement of trauma's prevalence and its profound effect on individuals' lives, particularly those who face daily struggles with post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and other related ailments. Within these specially designed programs, every aspect from the gym's architecture to the workout regimens need to reflect a commitment to creating a space of safety, comfort, and healing. In these programs, the gym transforms into an oasis where mirrors, often a standard fixture, are hung with mindful discernment to avoid exacerbating self-consciousness or triggering past traumas. Space is organized to foster a sense of security, allowing individuals to explore their strength without the fear of vulnerability. The unexpected clang of dropped weights or the blast of a buzzer signaling the start of a round are softened to mitigate sudden jolts to the nervous system, creating a considerate acoustic environment. It's important in this article to note the relationship between the individual who might be the weightlifting coach and that of the customer/client, the trauma survivor. Defined and agreed upon boundaries help to create a sense of transparency and trustworthiness to allow safe space for growth. Coaches keep communication open, ensuring the participant is aware that their input is valued and that they have choice and control over their activities and levels of involvement. But the influence of a trauma-informed program extends well beyond the individuals. It permeates the gym's culture, fostering peer support that is not just present but active and engaged. Here, fellow weightlifters are not merely supportive to each other's training. They may become supportive allies on each other's healing journey. The environment acts as a community for loneliness and a place for the participant to find that they belong. In addition, the coaching staff is diverse, reflecting society's many facets, and because of this, they can understand the different historical, cultural, and gender-based layers that trauma can assume. With this knowledge, they foster an environment that prioritizes inclusivity, where the unique challenges that trauma may present are accommodated. The programs are designed to continuously improve, with participant feedback as the key ingredient for growth and change. The weightlifting program becomes a dynamic construct, repeatedly being reshaped by the contributions from those it is designed to support, through rigor and empathy. As we examine the components of a trauma-informed weightlifting program, we see a variety of opportunities, individual and shared steps towards empowerment, captured in every repetition, lift, and interaction. It represents a combination of physical effort and mental focus to allow space for transformation. Trauma-informed care is a framework conceptualized to enhance the healing process for individuals who have experienced trauma. It is grounded in the recognition of the prevalence of trauma and its profound impact on individuals' physical, emotional, and psychological well-being. We'll explore the 6 key principles of this compassionate approach and consider how they may show up in the gym, fitness, and weightlifting environments. The first principle is safety. For trauma survivors, feeling safe is the most important aspect to growth. Safety encompasses both physical and emotional safety. In the context of gym environments, this extends to the arrangement of physical spaces, the presence of mirrors, and even the ambient noise levels that may trigger hypervigilance or unease in individuals. A trauma-informed gym prioritizes creating an environment where sensations of safety can flourish, allowing individuals to engage fully with their weightlifting practice without fear or apprehension. The second principle is trustworthiness and transparency. Trust is built through clear communication and consistent actions. Coaches and personal trainers in a trauma-informed gym are not just instructors, but advocates and allies to their clients. They provide clear, transparent insight into the workout rationale and maintain a flexible approach to accommodate the varying needs of trauma survivors. The third principle, peer support, highlights the importance of community. In trauma-informed weightlifting programs, gym-goers are encouraged to connect with one another, form relationships, and support each other's journeys. A sense of belonging can significantly impact one's healing process, offering a contrast to the deep-seated feelings of isolation that often accompany trauma. Collaboration and mutuality form the fourth principle, recognizing that each person's healing journey is unique. Trauma-informed gyms foster collaborations that honor individual experiences, requiring programs that are not one-size-fits-all, but rather tailored to the individual needs of their members. Next, empowerment, voice, and choice is a principle that re-empowers individuals who have often felt powerless in the face of traumatic experiences. A trauma-informed approach in weightlifting provides agency to individuals, allowing them to make choices about their workouts and to listen to their own bodies, a significant step in reclaiming control over their health and well-being. The final principle, cultural, historical, and gender issues, ensures that weightlifting programs are sensitive to the cultural, historical, and gender-based context of trauma. This involves creating an inclusive environment that acknowledges and respects the diverse identities and backgrounds of each individual, effectively combating systemic barriers that many face in accessing supportive fitness programs. In summary, these 6 principles of trauma-informed care, safety, trustworthiness, and transparency, peer support, collaboration and mutuality, empowerment, voice and choice, and cultural, historical, and gender issues, not only guide how health providers interact with trauma survivors, but when integrated within gym environments, they lay the groundwork for creating spaces that are welcoming, inclusive, and healing for trauma survivors, and may be a powerful tool for mental health and recovery. The qualitative research uncovers individual stories that show the distinct effects of trauma and how weightlifting is crucial in many people's recovery. These stories from trauma-affected weightlifters highlight the surprising role of weightlifting in creating a space for healing and growth. Take the example of a participant who gained a sense of safety and control, both of which were lost due to trauma. For this person, weightlifting is more than muscle development. It's a way to take back their body and show resilience, while using the act of lifting as a symbol of resistance against their traumatic past. The research interviews highlight the need for a supportive environment. One person mentioned that the gym turned into a sanctuary where they felt acknowledged and got to experience other members celebrating their weightlifting achievements, but also feeling supported when they had setbacks. The gym's culture, according to participants, is key in helping or hindering recovery. Participants also detailed their experiences with trainers and coaches. They emphasized the importance of adaptability, understanding, and flexibility in their exercise routines to suit their mental health needs. A coach's capacity to discern when to adjust a workout or challenge a client is essential for building trust. The interviewees point out that having a coach who can adjust a workout based on a client's state of mind reflects empathy, which is critical in building a therapeutic relationship. The study outlines the importance of agency and choice. Many trauma survivors express that weightlifting gives them a sense of self-efficacy that counteracts feelings of helplessness that often accompany traumatic events. Weightlifting becomes a modality through which they can exercise choice, a choice in how they treat their bodies, a choice in setting and achieving personal fitness goals, and a choice in engaging with a community on their own terms. Each story adds a layer of understanding to the complex relationship between trauma, embodiment, and exercise, and also serve as vital insights for those looking to foster trauma-informed practices in gym settings. The research study outlines a series of guidelines for personal trainers and gyms that are tailored to meet the specific needs and experiences of trauma survivors. Establishing safety is the most important point. Trainers and gym staff should focus on creating an environment where every individual feels safe, valued, and understood. This includes not only physical safety with equipment and exercises, but also emotional safety, where the presence of mirrors, the type of music being played, and even the gym's layouts are considered through the lens of psychological safety. When considering the importance of trustworthiness and transparency, coaches must recognize that building trust can be difficult for many survivors. It's essential for coaches and personal trainers to establish trust through clear communication and appropriate practices. Being transparent about workout routines, explaining the reasons behind exercises, and being ready to adjust to the individual's needs at the moment is critical. Peer support is also a key factor. Research shows that community can significantly aid healing, providing a strong sense of belonging and collective strength. However, trainers must be careful to ensure that gym culture does not inadvertently support harmful behaviors or coping strategies stemming from trauma. Empowerment, voice, and choice are essential in guiding trauma survivors to take back control over their bodies and decisions. Coaches should request feedback about comfort levels, exercise preferences, and potential triggers as individuals work to restore their physical strength and independence. Additionally, recognizing cultural, historical, and gender issues is critical to address the discrimination and marginalization many trauma survivors have encountered. Diverse representation through images, staff, and programs is important, so everyone entering the gym feels acknowledged and valued. The guidelines suggested are practical considerations for gyms and trainers to modify environments and methods and promote a gym culture that prioritizes psychological and emotional resilience alongside physical strength. This research highlights the significant benefits of incorporating thoughtful care into exercise routines, where healing can be promoted through movement. As trauma-informed principles become more recognized and embedded in fitness programs, compassionate training will become a more available and accessible way to integratively heal from trauma. Instructors ranging from yoga teachers to personal trainers can take training so they can have the expertise to support people in a comprehensive trauma-informed manner. Embracing a trauma-informed framework could help survivors heal from their trauma. Merging this approach into gyms and fitness centers could be a way of redefining accessibility in fitness and weight training, while also helping to create spaces where best practices are created uniquely for each person and community. The research we've explored today lays the foundation for what could be a transformative shift in the way we approach healing from trauma. Weightlifting, which naturally builds strength and empowerment, is not only a physical workout, but it can also be an approach that harnesses inner resilience. These insights encourage gyms and fitness studios to begin to integrate trauma-informed principles into their facilities and environment, Implementing such guidelines offers a framework through which individuals may regain autonomy and a sense of security, all within the realm of a supportive and inclusive environment. As we continue advancing conversations and as more research guides our approaches, we get closer to a world where recovery is possible for all. Thank you to the author and publisher for all of the research within this important study, Trauma-Informed Weightlifting, Considerations for Coaches, Trainers, and Gym Environments. For those eager to continue exploring, or for anyone seeking more in-depth information, additional resources and supplementary materials can be accessed within the links provided in the episode description. As we end our time together, remember to embrace and witness the beauty of life, and within shared experience, be the thread that creates compassion and curiosity for others. Thank you for joining me on this journey in learning how research supports yoga and integrative practices for mental health and well-being. May you find and share beauty and peace on your journey toward wellness.